Tucker Carlson understandably got a lot of flack from conservatives for platforming known, notorious anti-Semite embroiderer Nick Fuentes, and in response, he invited someone less inflammatory to explain what is happening with young people's politics right now. Let's lock in.
My views started to change probably around late junior year of high school. Nothing significant happened. It was nothing that I saw or anything. It was just, I decided I wasn't going to accept just what Con Inc. was giving me. And it's...
What's Con Inc.?
Con Inc. is basically your typical conservative media, very typical Republican, not any sort of nationalist, the type of legal immigration good, illegal bad,
Right.
There's a widening generational divide between old and young conservatives, between boomers and Gen Z overall. A perfect case study is Nikki Haley and her son, Nalin Haley. Nalin is saying, look, my generation inherited a messed up world and our elders don't have the answers right now. He might just have a blueprint to prevent Gen Z from going off the reservation into the arms of radicals, whether that's Nick Fuentes or Zoran Mamdani.
But you felt that the news outlets that were there to serve you were actually maybe not serving you and instead misleading you?
No, of course not. And I absolutely hate the media. I just do. They are, to me, the worst people in the world.
Nalin Haley is a rising star in the conservative movement. He's articulate. He's calm. He makes a lot of sense. And like Zoran Mamdani, he's a political Nepo baby, but he's divorcing himself from the politics of his parents. By the age of 24, he's already switched religions from Hinduism to Catholicism, and he's also departed from his parents' political philosophy. Instead of going the neoconservative route like his mom, Nikki Haley, did, he is an America First populist.
When you realize you're not allowed to talk about something in particular, it opens up very... more questions than answers, right?
Oh,
and,
yes.
and sometimes I still feel like I have more questions than answers.
Oh, I definitely do.
So that I never told anybody, but it was something that I noticed over time that I'm not the only one.
Yes.
Everyone else is noticing this, and everyone else is heading towards the same direction, which is nationalist, America First. And that's the direction I hope it will be.
And let's not forget, his mother is a veteran of the neocon era of the GOP. And this framework was all about America policing the world and intervening in foreign conflicts to spread democracy and nation build abroad. Nikki was once the ambassador of the most quintessential internationalist organization, the United Nations, which Gen Z has little time for today.
It makes no sense to me why we have special status for certain other countries, why we have special status for certain corporations, certain groups. It's like, why? We have people struggling here. We have people below the poverty line. We have bad schools. We have people going into debt because, they broke a bone.
Exactly.
This stuff is ridiculous. So we have to call it out. And America First, I think, is mistakenly always associated with social and cultural issues.
Right.
But it's also a massive economic issue as well.
I totally agree.
And no one talks enough about that.
Older generations of conservatives said, of course, we always have to fight for freedom and stop tyranny and deploy a lot of soldiers, boots on the ground. But Gen Z is increasingly throwing away that script. They're questioning a lot of historic alliances and demanding receipts on what we've given to other countries and why. Gen Z is just jaded about our government's ability not to screw things up, especially in war. They don't want to get deployed and lose their lives to some battle we didn't need to be in to advance our national interest. But that conversation has unfortunately opened a can of worms that has allowed demagogues to rise. After Charlie Kirk was assassinated, all of these unsavory influencers, streamers, personalities jumped in to fill the void, and it's been all about engagement bait, peddling conspiracy theories just to get the clicks. And although I have no doubt this is about vain profiteering and just trying to get more influence, Nalin Haley is also suggesting that these provocateurs are also getting more popularity because the Republican Party is just not addressing the anxieties of Gen Z. And there are a lot: financial, spiritual, emotional.
The goal of every generation, right, is to leave it better than you found it. And right now we're not doing that. We're going in the opposite direction. It's getting worse. And I noticed that, you used to have a choice. You either for free market neoliberalism or you're a Mamdani style socialist.
Right.
Inflation is still going strong, even if it has come down a bit since Trump came into office. Young people are losing their purchasing power. They're not going to own a home until they're 40. They need cash and fast, and that's why they're going populist, both on the right and the left. They're either going Bernie bro or MAGA. And I'm not saying this is good. I personally want a small government that has very little responsibility over our daily lives. But Gen Z is increasingly okay with the intervention and the nanny state and the stipends because they feel like they can't survive without it.
2016, Trump brought a spotlight on illegal immigration, and that was really desperately needed because we had seen it, but no one really said the obvious. Now we need to do the same with legal immigration. We need to state the obvious. Mass migration is a problem.
Yes.
And on the immigration issue, also unlike his mom, Nalin wants to shut down the border entirely. No immigrants, period. Because, he argues, Gen Z is already struggling in the job market and they don't need to compete with foreign labor. And unlike these internet grifters and manosphere women haters, Nalin doesn't think young men should retreat into their online cocoons and never talk to women again, cursing their names behind a screen. Nalin understands that our civilization depends on young men and women getting along.
The massive division in this country in the future is going to be between gender, men and women. That's especially problematic because in order for a society to function, men need women, women need men.
Amen.
Marriage is not a trap. It's actually a good institution that more young people should partake in. Dating is good. We need to get Gen Z out of the romantic recession.
The beauty of it is that it's not the view that a man is better than a woman. It's that they have different traits. Exactly. They combine them to make something beautiful. It's partnership.
Nalin also points out that Gen Z is super atomized, they're isolated, they're lonely. Some surveys indicate that nearly 3 in 4 Gen Z workers have no access to mentorship. So Gen Z feels like they're getting left behind and they're not being given the guidance that they need to succeed in this very confusing world. And to me, Nalin strikes a similar tone to Charlie Kirk. He's reasonable, he's really smart, he's not trying to stir the pot for no reason. He's very interested in truth, pursuing truth. So maybe Nalin could be the mentor and leadership to Gen Z that Charlie Kirk once was. But let me ask you, putting yourself in Gen Z's shoes, what would you do? Would you lean into America First, Bernie Bro, or Zohran Mamdani? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss out on future content. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and for more, check out my articles at nationalreview.com.